Let's get it cracking. Let's get it popping. Let's get it started. Welcome once again, Tar Heel Nation. How you doing? How you living? It is your boys here. We are back with another episode. Oh, all right. Well, Facebook ain't gonna stream it. We don't care. It's all good. You know what? I ain't even worried about it.
Facebook said they don't like us.
If Facebook don't want to stream it, cool. We fine. Just remove Facebook. We'll try y'all another time. It's okay. The rest of y'all, let's go ahead, get back into it. Tar Heel Nation, it is your boy, one of the co-hosts here in the North Carolina Tar Heel Live, Myron McCray, a.k.a. Tornado McCray, across the skies of the internet. And also, I am the captain of the Hooligan Express. And that's right there. That guy over there. Tell him your name, good people.
Yo, it's your boy, Rasbox26, coming at you again. I done screwed up my own intro, but that's all right. I ain't worried about it because it's your number one farmer. It's the boy, head of the rice fields. Let's get with it.
He don't know nothing. He don't know nothing. He ain't playing nothing. He ain't been here. He ain't done anything.
I know a little about nothing and a whole lot about everything. So let's go with it.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Because I mean, from what I heard, you don't know much, but I don't know much either.
You know how they ask you in the country what you know good.
But man, we got a lot on the docket today, Tar Heel Nation. Hope y'all are living. Hope y'all are doing well. And first thing we do want to talk about that's on the docket, as he may have seen, is the TCU coach apparently is the litmus test. He's the icebreaker for new legends coming into college football. So for those of you who don't know, TCU coach has a unique link, so to speak, with NFL legends. And what I mean by that is recently he was asked by ESPN's Andrea Adelson, what did the Horned Frogs do? What did his team do in order to be the opponents for both Deion Sanders and Bill Belichick's coaching debuts in college football at the FBS level? And I ain't gonna lie, I loved his response. He said, not sure how we pulled that off. It's called bad scheduling. Hopefully we'll fare better than we did last time. We didn't play well last time, but we've got a second chance. And for those of you who don't remember, TCU lost to Colorado 45-42 in what was a thriller, actually. It was a really good game.
Oh, it was a barn burner for sure.
Hey, that was a great game. If you didn't watch that, man, I don't know what you missed. And also, this is the first time, I didn't know this last time we talked about TCU, but this is the first time that they will be meeting UNC since 97. That's kind of crazy. So, what are your thoughts about the TCU coach being essentially the litmus test, so to speak, for all NFL legends who come into college coaching at the FBS level?
First things first, NCAA is disrespectful. Big 12, disrespectful. ACC, disrespectful. Because one, you don't have to keep doing this to them. Why do they have to be the litmus test?
I mean, you would think I scheduled it. You would think I scheduled it, low key.
Exactly. And the only reason why you did it because they might have or sort of looked like they were scheduled last year, or you know what, they tough enough. We'll put them on there. This is the one throwaway game we're gonna do this season. They're gonna throw all top 10 teams on the rest of the schedule because you are some kind of madman.
Listen, man, you know me. I say we gotta prove to the committee that we are great
out here in your pursuit to get Kennesaw State ranked.
Yes, in my pursuit to build these dynasties, I will take on the highest ranked for no reason in week 1. Set the precedent. Let everybody know this is what we're about. But nah, on the real, I thought this was really crazy. I kind of laughed. I was like, ooh, bro, now disrespectful is crazy. But I'm also looking at it like he had to choose that. He had to have scheduled it or at least seen the opportunity. Yes, he did.
No, we didn't. Athletic director did this.
You think the athletic director just made this schedule and did not tell him at all?
Oh, he told him.
After? Is that what you're saying?
After it was finalized.
bro.
You see what he said? He said, "Not sure how we pulled that off. It's called bad scheduling." Even he doesn't understand why this is happening.
Now they did say he joked about it when he said that, but I'm still like, nah. There's a little
Yeah,
truth
there's
into
some
what he
truth in
said.
that. There's
There's
some
a little
truth in that.
truth into what he said. But
He's like, "Why are we here? Why are we doing this?"
I was sitting there. I'm like, ooh, that kind of hurts. That kind of hurts him. And I personally, I wouldn't have if I had Dion last year. I probably would have made sure that we didn't get Bill this year. I would have called up and like, hey,
I, I
get this
wouldn't have
game
got
off.
him first. I wouldn't
Or
have
at
got him.
least I would, or at least
I'd
I
have,
would have made that a home game, not a neutral site game. I would have made that a home game
not. I'm even cool with a neutral site game. Like I said, it would just not have been the first game of my season again.
again.
It would
Oh,
have
so
been.
week two,
I would have asked for like this to be like fourth game in the season. At least let us get into a rhythm real quick.
so week two would have been cool for you.
Yeah, week 2 would have been fine with me.
Week-
Week two, I would have been upset. I wouldn't have argued as heavily as I would have argued had I been week 1 back to back like this.
mm-hmm.
But week 1, I would have I would have been upset. I was there, like, what's wrong with y'all?
I don't know, man.
Why us?
Because here's the
Why
thing.
us? Why not Arizona?
So I got a question. If he goes in and beats Bill, is Bill automatically a better, or is Dion a better coach than Bill off rip?
If he goes in and beats Bill, Coach Dykes is a better coach than somebody at this point. Because all that's really going to do, is show that one, that some of the rumor or some of the speculation might have been true, that Bill was allowing all this Jordan stuff to be a little bit more of a distraction than we had planned it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't come out as ready as they should have week 1. And 2, it means that Coach Dykes went back, paid attention to some old film of Bill coaching, some old film of the offensive coordinator, and prepared his guys well. So it just means that at the end of the day, that TCU was just more prepared to play than UNC was. And it's going to add some more speculation off of, okay, was all the stuff going on during the summer more of a problem than we thought it was going to be? Or was all that stuff during the summer too much of a distraction for Bill himself and not just the entire team?
Okay. I see what you're saying. Oh, hold up. We got a comment in here. Hey. Our boy Beats said, make sure y'all hit the like button. Beats, say tell the people what to do. Hit the like button,
subscribe, comment, do all the stuff.
And here's the other thing, yo, we are available on all the
Hit
platforms:
notification bell.
YouTube, Anchor, Spotify. Right? We were trying to be on Facebook. Facebook wants to be stupid, but it's okay. And we're also thinking about. And we might be doing IG and Twitter soon as well. I know we own Twitter like in a way right now, but we might have our own dedicated page to that. We're working on that. Thinking about that.
We're getting there. So,
but we're getting it.
Yeah, no. Like at the end of the day, all it's going to show us that TCU was just more prepared coming in, and this is going to be some of the growing pains for Bill in his first year as a college football coach. It's gonna be that's the simplest way to put it.
I can see that, but
like you say, because like as you already know, there's high expectations for him being an NFL legend and considered a top 3 NFL coach in history. Then you come down to the college level where you've never had a hand in this, you've never been in this atmosphere before, outside of watching your dad do it. Or the occasional time you might have came to a game, but you've never been on the field for it like this. So we'll have to see what happens.
It's like my dad did it. We're doing great.
So my dad owns a dealership.
We're doing great. But honestly, I'm gonna put it like this because I know there might be some people who will sit there and do this. If the TCU coach loses the bill and people try to hang that up on him, I'm gonna just look at it and be like, he lost to 2 NFL legends, bro. Like, especially the quote unquote greatest coach in NFL history. I think he gets more of a pass for that one than the Colorado loss last year.
Mm-hmm.
If he loses, because what you gonna tell
Actually,
me?
no,
Hey,
no,
bro,
he won't get more. He won't get more of a pass. He won't.
why?
The reason why is because of all that drama that went down during the summer. He won't get a pass for that because everybody's expecting, because he's been saying up and down, left and right, that at the end of the day, whatever was going on with she who shall not be named right now and football were two separate issues. He was focused entirely on football. And when it came down to being on the field, he was 100% focused, 100% locked in.
In the public.
But if they come out and they look and they play and they look flat and they look discombobulated and disjointed, the first thing that's going to come down was everything that went down during the summer was Bill lying. Was he just covering for his girlfriend to make everything look like it was a better situation than it was? Then they're going to start speculating on some of the transfers that came out, especially some of the main leaders on this team that transferred out. They're going to start asking, okay, what was going down during that time that we didn't hear of that caused them to transfer? Was she part of the issue?
A whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of Nathan.
And we already know on our end, the biggest guess is it's a whole lot of nothing, and they just really wanted a different opportunity. Cool, whatever. That's great. But all of it's going to start coming crashing down if he loses or at least looks bad in this first game.
If UNC gets blown out in this first game, the questions are going to be flying. If UNC gets blown out, the questions are flying, bro.
People are going to be looking for his resignation by the end of the season if they don't have a good season. If that is the benchmark going into the season, and it ends up being the actual benchmark and the actual level that they hit for most of the season, people are going to want his resignation because they're not going to feel like they wasted their time. And then they're going to think that he's there, and it's not going to be everyone. Nobody important.
I ain't gonna say they're gonna want his resignation, but he's gonna be on the hot seat quick.
Nobody majorly important are going to want it. Nobody major that has a whole lot of influence is going to push it. There's going to be a segment of fans.
There's going to be the cult.
Want him going. There's going to be
that cult. Off with his head. Kill this man.
Because think about it. There's still that group of fans in Pittsburgh, despite the fact they've had winning records for the last 12 years, that want Mike Tomlin gone. Despite the fact some of this ain't even Mike Tomlin. But at the end of the day, you're going to that's what there's going to be a group that's going to ask that, hey, we need him gone because he's a waste of time. But you also got to remember, when you have a new coach, we've said it about Dion, when you had a new coach, you got to give him at least 3 seasons.
At least, bro. That's always been my thing. Unless the first and second season are just like,
it's just disastrous,
just god awful bad. Like, and I'm talking, I'm gonna hurt myself here. Like Matt Rule and Frank Reich, 1-10 both times bad.
If they're like the Joey Harrington, Joe Horn Atlanta years,
if they're just that bad, yeah, you gotta get them. You gotta get them out of here. Like, ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it, bro.
You just gotta go.
You just, like, immediate. Like, if Bill goes, I will say this on this record right now: if Bill goes 1-7, 1-8, 1-9, 1-10 to start, get him out. Get him out. Gotta go. Go back to the NFL.
If he ends the first half of the season with under 500, hot seat for sure.
I ain't gonna say that because that could be 3-5, and that could be close. I'm saying if he only has 1 win by the halfway through the season,
if he has 2 or less,
yes. If he has 2, 1, or has not won squat
by time the season gets halfway point,
get him going.
By halfway, any good team should start hitting their stride by then.
Hey,
Like, there's no way you just can't.
and
Like,
here's
it
the
doesn't
other
make
thing.
sense to me that
Here's
way.
the other thing about it. His buyout, we talked about it last time. His buyout shrinks literally from 10 million now to 1 million. It officially shrunk starting this past Sunday on June 1st. So
Yeah.
at that point, that's the cheap for a head name for a name like Bill
For a
Belichick.
name
North
like
Carolina
that,
can
that's
buy
cheap.
him out. For a name like Bill Belichick, North Carolina being able to buy him out for just $1 million, yeah, get him out. Get him
Heck,
gone.
you can't even buy out some bench players in the NFL for that.
Bro, Carolina bought out Matt Rule for 70 mil. Carolina paid them 70 mil. Paid them 70 mil to get Matt Rule. Or it was 30. No, I'm sorry. It was 30 mil. It was 30 mil. The contract we gave him
Either
was 7 years, 70 mil.
either way, too much dang money. Either way you look
Way
at it,
too much.
way too
But
much money. Either way you look at it.
But speaking of some of the guys that are going to be heading up for Bill, going in stride, going to war for him, one of them, I saw an article about him, just kind of highlighting him, is senior Marcus Allen, as he's going to be leading the secondary.
Exactly.
And
Wasn't the Kirk Cousins?
I'm saying, bro, you listen, bad times. Bad times.
Oh, listen, Beats. If you never heard about that, I don't know. You probably heard about it, but now when they hired Matt Rule for the 2 seasons they had him, they signed that man to a
Bro,
They signed that man to $10 million a
7
year.
years.
When
7
I
years.
heard it,
We
I looked at
bought
it. Y'all must be joking.
here's
No,
the thing,
that
bro. We bought
never.
him out for 30
Then to
mil
get
from
then to
Baylor
get rid of him. I said,
just to get rid
then
of him. We bought out that $30 million contract and then gave him a 7 year, 70 mil on top. Oh my God.
and even worse, they had to keep that when they got rid of him, they had to keep paying him. They still owed him the rest of that money.
I think Nebraska took on some of that.
Nebraska took on some of it, but you still owe them like $40
million. We still hurting. No, this is worse. This is worse.
It was worse than Russ, but still.
It was worse than Russ. But
it was worse than Russ. Like, it was terrible. It was bad.
But Marcus Allen, 4-year senior, finding himself as he said, I'm now the old head in the secondary room. Like 4 years, he is senior. And to be honest, he didn't do bad last year. He didn't do bad last year. In the 12 games he played, 36 total tackles, 26 solos. He got targeted 53 times and only allowed 28 completions, which for some of you who don't know, hey, that's a 52% completion percentage. For a DB, that's really where you want. Everything. And the reason why I'm saying that is just because I did the numbers, and J.C. Horn this past season made like Pro Bowl and everything, right? His completion percentage was 62 on him.
I mean,
and the average I saw in the league is around that 55 to 60 mark.
I mean, I get it, and the only reason why I'm a little skeptical on it is because one, there's 3 reasons for it. One, this is now an era of football that defenses have the worst job ever. Man. Like you can tap somebody and be flagged for it. It don't make no sense. 2, where you want them to be is around like 46%.
I mean,
you want them to be,
but let's be honest. If he's 46, that is putting him.
He's shut down for
all American.
Oh, he's shut down for real. Now, I'm not saying the percentage he has is bad, because no, 52% is honestly great, because I can almost guarantee you for at least 15 of those completions, they were in situations where like he literally could do nothing better. So like I'm not knocking the 52, because even on average, like you said, the average is around 55 NFL wise. So like, I'm not really saying that this is bad. Like I said, for a coach, you want 47, you want less than 50 for a coach. But if you're going to expect any kind of, if you want to be realistic about it, 52 is a good number.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it like
49 to 53 is a great number.
Now I will say this: the one I do want, now 52, I'm not mad at. What I would like, and sometimes they don't get this stat right, depending on who's honestly marking the game. They said he only had 4 pass deflections. To me, I'm like, he was targeted 53 times and only allowed 28 completions. And you mean he only deflected 4 passes?
Because like they don't count
That,
knocking balls out of the hands.
That's why I'm saying that I'm marking that as to whoever was probably charting the game. Because I'm like, there's no way he only has 4. There were only 4 passes. To me, the rest of those are just at that point. It was a bad pass. It wasn't like he did anything. And sometimes,
well,
like you said, there are times where the ball just gets thrown over because he's forced it into a window that the quarterback has to throw.
Then you also have those. The other stat is instead of pass deflections, they call them pass breakups. So like they split deflections into 2 separate categories, and they don't really mark breakups down as much as they should.
And that's the other problem. They don't mark breakups at all. Like, I know what you're talking about. I know PBUs are a thing, but that's not a readily available stat. Like, not on Sports Reference, not on ESPN, not even on the regular college websites, which upsets me. Because I'm like, that's a stat you should keep. That's just like offensive lineman stats. I need pancakes again. I need pancakes as a readily available stat. I need sacks allowed as a readily available stat.
Because for people who are in the game and have played it and in the game, they want those kinds of stats because we know that makes those are big deals. That makes a lot of difference because there's a whole separate thing there. Because you can't just call everything you do knocking the ball away as a pass deflection, because if a dude has his hands on it and you knock it out afterwards, that's a breakup. You broke that pass.
That's a breakup.
You're not going to mark that down as a breakup, and you're not going to mark it as a deflection. You're just going to mark it as an incomplete pass and move on. Only one person is going to get the negative out of this, and that's it. When we all know that's another tick that you can put on the board somewhere.
And the thing about it is, pass breakups to me, if you're not going to have pass deflection and pass breakups as one and the same. If you're going to mark those pass breakups, that shows what a corner really does when they're targeted. It's like, okay, they didn't deflect the pass, but they broke that up. And if you have a high breakup percentage, that shows how locked down you really were. Prime Darrelle Revis. Revis didn't always have the most interceptions in the league, but you know what he always did do?
He broke
up passes. He broke up a pass. Sherman broke up passes. Jalen Ramsey in his prime broke up passes. Shoot, even Dion
now. Like Surtain now does it all the time. Like
breaks up passes all the time. And that's the thing about it is, as a
top tier safeties break up passes all the time.
All the time. They might not come down, especially hard hitting safeties. The hard hitters, the Troy Polamalu's and the Cam Chancellors. Those are the ones that are breaking up the most passes.
Because to me, pass breakups is more important than deflections. Because it showed that you're athletic enough to get in the way of a pass, or you're preemptive enough to be able to knock a pass down. Great. Sometimes in my mind, if you got both hands on it, you should have caught it. You should have more interceptions.
Oh, listen,
in my mind. Listen, we were receivers.
The worst pass deflection, bro, is when you break on the ball. And especially if you're sitting in cover 2, and you break on like a screen or something, come in and it dropped out your hands, or you were right there in the zone, bro. You know what coach immediately made you. You know what you did on the field. You immediately knocked out your 10 push-ups right there on the field because you knew coach was gonna make you do them on the sideline if you didn't, bro. It sucks. It sucks.
Let's say it's like stat keeping is a little weird now because. Some stuff works, some stuff don't. So it is what it is.
But with it all, Marcus Allen, I know, like with the stats and everything that's been put up, I know he probably has expectations, especially with Bill Belichick being his coach. One, he wants to make all ACC. Like if he doesn't get like All-American recognized, like All-American first, second, or third team, I know he at least as the senior leader wants to be all ACC because that still comes with some notoriety. And two, with Bill Belichick being his coach, he's probably looking at Bill like Bill Belichick can probably make me an NFL ready coach in 1 year. If there is anybody who can get me on the map, get me in the right positions, have me doing the right things that NFL teams are looking for, and get me to the next level in the NFL draft, it's Bill Belichick. And I know that's probably his dream of being a NFL draft pick in 2026, even if it's like a fourth rounder. You know what I mean?
And tell you the truth, like the way looking at the stats that he's got, he could be second day for sure.
That's what I'm saying. I looked at his whole line. I'm like, all right, you could definitely be 4, 5, 6. I think 7 would be disrespectful, honestly. I think seventh round would be a little disrespectful personally.
Like if he gets 7th round, it's gonna be because
that class had to be stacked.
I say it was going to be because that class of cornerbacks is just stacked, and
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think we're going to see that.
I was about to say if he is a 7th round pick in 2026, and this is also barring he does what he's supposed to do, makes all ACC, and we know what he's capable of, and he's a 7th round pick in 2026. That means this cornerback class coming out is stacked, and I don't know who that is right now. Like I can't say that for sure. Not off the top of my head right now.
Oh, not at all.
Like if it becomes stacked like that, hey, listen, I'll be the first to admit I ain't know your game. I was unfamiliar with your game, partners.
I was unfamiliar with your game, pimp.
Hey, listen, tell me what it is. Tell me what it do. I was unfamiliar with how you get down. But
so this next thing on the docket, let's hold off on it for a little bit. We're gonna come back to it.
Oh,
we're gonna talk. It's gonna be a long talk on that one. Let's come back.
Man! You know I'm so excited.
I know. Bro, let's go ahead. Let's get through the offer sheet and the commits first.
All right. So here's the thing. So this week with the offer sheets, there actually weren't any new updates. Or I will say this: I went searching, and I went to my usual source that I found the offer sheets the previous few weeks. There was no offer sheet updated this past week, which kind of upset me, kind of made me sad, a little bit. And there were no new transfer portal updates either, which I think a lot of teams are now kind of hitting their stride and finishing up like winter and spring transfer portal season. I don't know how summer transfer portal really works because honestly, the transfer portal has been like a wild, wild west of things to maneuver. However, there was a breakdown in terms of how UNC has done in the transfer portal, right? Especially with their defensive additions. So for those of you who don't know, who haven't been following us since we've been doing this podcast, it's like 10 episodes deep. UNC's been making a lot of moves in both the winter and spring portal, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They have gotten 17 players from the winter and spring transfer portal. 16 of them are from the FBS, and 12 alone come from within the Power 4. 6 D linemen, 6 defensive backs, and 5 linebackers. Now, I will say, from what I saw and from the list and the stats and the numbers, backing up everybody they got, a lot of these guys seem like dudes who have potential and haven't been getting the adequate play time, because a lot of them like, oh, half of them were, I got 2 years of eligibility left, X, Y, and Z. And then the other half were guys who still had like 4 years of eligibility left. So it seemed like they just said, you know what, I'm going to a brand new school. I'm going to Bill Belichick right now. I'll get 4 years under Bill Belichick. If there's anybody who can make me a pro or NFL-like prospect, it should be him. But on the contrary, it's like you're going to Bill Belichick. And we talked about this last week. You're going to Bill Belichick. So is everybody else more than likely. So when you go there, show up and show out. But one thing I will say, and I've known this about Bill, and you've known this about Bill as well, even if you're not a starter, if you show out and work hard, like on special teams or any other aspect, Bill will see it.
Oh, absolutely.
Bill will recognize that. Like I can't deny that. The man will find great talent on the depth chart.
He'll make, and if you don't feel like you are, he'll make you one. Because let's see here. Because out of the transfers, some of the guys who have had the most experience so far out of everybody is Price Yates out of Connecticut, defensive lineman, played 32 games, 1,400 snaps, played 7 games last season. Some of his accolades is the 2024 Wasabi Bowl defensive MVP, and he has 1 year eligibility left. You have
1 year.
You have Andrew Simpson, who's played 40 games, almost 1,500 snaps. Accolades with All Mountain West second team, College Football Network third team All American. He also has 1 year left. Played 12 games last season, 506 snaps. You got CJ Mims, defensive lineman out of ECU, played 25 games. He's only got 37 tackles. He's got 2 years of eligibility, and his tally 521 offensive snaps against FBS opponents, including a career high 39 snaps against Texas San Antonio. Let's see. We got Gavin Gibson, also out of East Carolina, has played 33 games, almost 1,000 snaps. Doesn't really have a whole lot of big accolades going on. Played 13 games last year, still has 1 year left. Mekhi Gabayer played 25 games, 617 snaps. Accolades, though. When I tell you this boy stacked accolades on accolades at Nebraska, because his last year played 12 games for Nebraska last year.
Was he like academic? Was he like academic all honors too?
Academic all Big Ten, Nebraska Scholar Athlete Honor Roll, Brooke Behringer Citizenship Award, Tom Osborne.
Bill got the smart kids. Bill been picking up the smart kids because I noticed a lot of them were like academic all conference.
Yeah, you got like honor rolls and all that on there. 2 years of eligibility left on him. You got Thaddeus Dixon with 27 games total. Coming out of Washington, 13 games last season. Accolades is UW, University of Washington Defensive Skill Player of the Year Award, and it does not include his JUCO stats. So he does have JUCO with 1 year left. Coleman Bryson, defensive back out of Minnesota, 31 games total, 612 snaps. No real accolades to really say much of. Played 13 games last year, 264 defensive snaps with 20 tackles. That's a defensive back. So 20 tackles as a defensive back ain't bad. That's a pretty high number for them for that particular position, because you don't expect defensive backs to make a whole lot of tackles. Then you got Melkart Abojal.
If my DB is making a whole lot of tackles, my front seven is trash.
My front seven is terrible.
My front seven is trash. If my DB is making
either that defensive back should have been a linebacker in the first place, or my front seven is terrible.
Or
so Melkart Abojal from Delaware.
My defensive coordinator just sends too many corner blitzes just because.
Right. He has 25 games, 720 snaps. 2024 All CAA honorable mention. CAA Football Commissioner's Academic Honor Roll. Has 2 years of eligibility left. Played 11 games last year, 401 snaps with 25 and a half tackles, 9.5 for loss, and 6.5 sacks. Woo. So overall, you got some well-seasoned players in here. Some of them have at least 1 to 2 years worth of games under their belt. The ones that don't tend to have at least somewhere between 10 or less, like 12 to less. So they have 1 season worth, and that's about it for pretty much anybody else on this list. With most seasoned is definitely Andrew Simpson between everybody. And that's the guy. That's that linebacker I was telling you out of Boise State. That like he's it.
Yeah, like Andrew. Andrew's definitely one of them ones.
He's a 1-on-1 right there.
Andrew's definitely one of them ones.
So everybody they've brought in is going to be at least a solid contributor in one way or another. If it's not straight up on like regular defensive snaps, you'll get your time on special teams. Trust me, you'll be surprised at how many gems Bill has found through special teams.
Listen, anybody who knows, Steve Smith for the Carolina Panthers started on special teams. His very first touchdown was a kick return.
Listen, Julian Edelman started on special teams.
Facts. I think that's how Hunter Renfrow started at Clemson.
Started on special teams.
Like, listen, bro. All you got to do is get on the field. That's it. You get on the field. You can change it. You can change the whole game. It might be 2, 3, 4. Oh, Victor Cruz. What was Victor Cruz doing? Kick
Special
returns.
teams. Kick returns.
Kick returns.
Yeah,
I'm saying, man.
shoot, Ray McLeod, special teams.
Oh, listen. I think Tyrann Matthew started on special teams at LSU too. I think he did. Or he did special teams. I know he was like a starter, but he also did special teams.
Yeah, he did special teams.
So, hey man, you never know. You never know where it's gonna get you. But
get the reps.
But the good thing about it is we did get a few new updates in the commit world. So there is always happiness in the commit world. I'm actually thrilled about that. We got a few new commits coming in, and it's Bills types. It's Bills type. So first one up is Mason Wilhelm. Mason Wilhelm, 6'4", 285-pound, old 3-star O lineman from Lakewood, Ohio, for the class of 2026. Mason
is he pronounced Wilhelm? And that Wilhelm?
I ain't gonna lie. I've been pronouncing it Wilhelm because that's how I've always seen that pronounced.
I about to say, are you doing it off of instinct?
I'm doing it off of instinct. Y'all tell me. Wilhelm. How do y'all pronounce it?
We'll find out.
Now, here's the thing. You might be able to really confirm it because, side note, his father was a linebacker at Ohio State and was a 4th-round draft pick for the then San Diego Chargers, and he was in the 03 draft. So you might be able, if we can find that video or find something about it, and he played 8 years in the NFL. San Diego stats are with San Diego, Green Bay, and San Francisco. He was with Philly, but that was actually for the offseason before he got cut and then went to Green Bay. So
what him daddy name?
His daddy name is Matt Wilhelm. MattWilhelm. He was a linebacker at Ohio State, and he was a 4th-round pick by the San Diego Chargers in the 03 draft. So I guess if you go 03 draft,
actually inducted into the Ohio State Hall of Fame.
Word.
Good for him.
But the baby boy Mason, he's 63rd in the state of Ohio, 63rd player in the state of Ohio, or 63rd O lineman, 102nd ranked nationally. He also had offers from Baylor, West Virginia, Pittsburgh, Maryland, and Vanderbilt, among others. And when they asked him about picking UNC, this is what he had to say. He said, they have always been a school on my list. The education there is top notch. I'm very intrigued by what Coach Belichick will bring there. The professionalism, the practice, and prepare like the NFL just checks a lot of boxes I'm looking for in a school. High education and winning football. And that's what we've been saying. Listen, Bill is going to get the kiddos because they're like, hey, he can get me to where I want to go. He can get me to where I want to go. So and the funny thing is, so Mason committed on, not Beats laughing at me because I may or may not have mispronounced Wilhelm.
Wilhelm.
We
will have you stand.
Watch this.
We will have you arrested.
Plot twist is William.
But it is Wilhelm. It is
Wilhelm.
It is with a W. Yep. I found this Ohio State highlight.
Okay, so it's not Wilhelm, it's Wilhelm.
It is Wilhelm.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It is American.
I'm sorry. I apologize. That's just how I would have pronounced that any other way. But then also,
he said I was laughing at the daddy part.
He's like, I was laughing at the who him daddy. So, following that up, Mason committed on Sunday, right? So Eli Rickle, he was actually on the offer sheet last week.
He was.
He committed Monday, just this past Monday.
Solomon born on a Monday.
So, and Eli, for those who don't remember from last week, Eli is a 6'5", 260-pound old lineman. Ain't got no stars, but that don't mean nothing. From Norcross, Georgia, for the 2026 class. So he coming in there with Mason. And he also had offers from Miami, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Army, Navy, Dartmouth, Georgia Southern, Georgia State, Troy, USF, like South Florida, Utah State, amongst others. And one big reason why he chose UNC, his mama an alumni.
Not you. Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Well,
his
good for
mama an
you.
alumni from UNC. And he said that played a big role, and it actually
You-
sped up. It actually sped up his official visit because Eli was a part of a large class of official visits this past weekend. So he was there on
That's what
Sunday
I
and
was looking
committed
at.
on Monday. He was there on Sunday and committed on Monday. And so, for those of you who don't know, the official visits that went down this weekend, you had three players who were already committed to UNC. You had Eli, who committed Monday. You also had Travis Burgess, who we all know about, TB17, and Cooper McCutcheon, who Ricebox Joel, he let us know about Cooper when he committed. And then you have Keon Chapman, a 6'5", 215 four-star receiver from Alabama.
That man
What
built like George Pickens.
Jesus. What them putting in the water?
Yeah, Julian Burns, 6'3", 200-pound safety.
Then Julian Walker,
6'6", 250 edge.
Zion Crumpton,
6'1", 163. Okay, he a slot.
but he a 4-star. So that man nasty. Hey, that man nasty at it though.
Yeah. Kekua Amoa, tight end, 6'6", 257. So
From Florida.
Part of me says that he's going to end up being a tackle by the end of his college career.
Why you say that?
Something tells me he's going to be
He's
like
still
one of the
growing.
best line.
Nah,
That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. That is the problem.
What you mean? If
He is still growing. 6'6", 257.
What's Travis Kelce at right now?
Not 6'6", 257.
Like, I'm saying, if
coming out of high school,
Travis Kelce is 6'5", 250. What was Gronkowski at his biggest? Like,
I think he was like 6'6", 280.
6'6", and let's see, weight was 6'6", 265. Oh yeah, he right at
at high school.
There.
In high school,
I'm saying what was Antonio Gates?
In high school,
what was Antonio Gates, bro?
Sir.
What?
Sir.
Okay, Antonio Gates was 6'4", 260. Okay.
Sir. First of all,
hold up.
First of all, you thinking this about to be another Donnell Washington?
Hey, here's the thing. I just checked Tony Gonzalez and Antonio Gates. Antonio was 6'4", 240. And Tony Gonzalez is 6'5", 243 when he was playing. So okay, I see what you're saying now. I can see. I say bump it. Let him be a 6'8" tight end. Let him be a 6'8" tight end. I don't care. Let him be a 6'8" tight end. I do not care whatsoever. I say do it. Because guess what? Who gonna guard him? You ain't gonna put you can't put a linebacker nor a safety on him. What you gonna do? Not a thing. You telling me you wouldn't want to put him at a tight end?
I'm not saying I wouldn't. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying he's probably gonna end up being a tackle by the time he gets out of college.
Nah. Keep him at a tight end. Keep him at tight end.
I mean, let's hope he stays there. Because this is a big target.
Especially if he can move and is like really good at
of course
lateral
he can move.
movement. I'm saying if he can really get in and out them cuts and knows how to seal and knows how to seal off like anybody who's coming from, bruh. Just hey, listen, that's a security blanket if I have ever seen one.
Listen, I'm just so this is coming from like I wouldn't even say prejudice. This is like stereotyping. Like this is definitely stereotyping. One, he's already a big boy who's gonna get bigger. Of course, he can move. Of course, he can get in and out of cuts, and it's gonna be terrifying.
What do you think is more terrifying? A 6'8" tight end coming at you, and you a safety, or a 6'8" or a 6'8" 280 like D tackle chasing you down and out of the backfield?
Yes.
I'm saying, bro, I'm more scared if I'm playing safety. I just got this 6'8", 280 tight end running up the seam and it's gotten to the past the second level. Like, wait a minute.
Because hold on. No, that's not who I'm thinking of. Who am I thinking of?
Like if he grows to 6'8", 280, oh my God, yeah, that'd be a problem. That'd be a problem. A problem if I'd ever seen one.
Because think about it. Let's break it down for a quick second.
Break it down. Hut 1, hut 2. Ow.
So imagine for a quick second. Imagine a man built like Vita Vea at tight end coming at you. And we already see how that man can move now.
I mean,
imagine
LeBron's 6'8",
Vita Vea is for 347 pounds and moves like he does.
Why you think that boy gonna get up to 300 though?
So wild thing about that, right?
This child's going to blow up when we come out of the Clemson game 5-0. Hey, Tar Heel Paul, you let him know. You tell him.
That away,
you know
Paul.
What? Hey, that's what I'm talking about, Paul. Tell them what's up. Let them know.
It is facts though. Cause think about it. Cause I think it was Warren, the running back for Pittsburgh. Somebody they were interviewing him, and he said for some reason, like when it comes down to like Samoan athletes, because he almost didn't make the team because he was about to eat himself out of the team.
Eat himself out of what?
That's what he said.
What?
He's like, just like with Samoans, we just like to eat. So like we end up gaining weight and just being overweight. Despite the fact like that's not what we say. He's a bro. I had to actively make sure I kept my weight. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't have made the team. I'd have been overweight. I'd have been too big for a running back.
Listen.
So it's like at the end of the day, it's like I'm not like stereotypically, it's like and being like I said, stereotyping it's like, bro, I already know this is a big kid who is athletic as all get out.
Yeah.
And he could get up to 350 and still move like he's at 257. And nobody's gonna understand why that works.
Listen, bro.
He's gonna end up being like 6'9", 325, running a 4.7. Nobody's gonna understand why it happens, but he knows. All we can really say is just genetics. It is what it is. He is built to just beat you in every way possible.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
And what's gonna happen is they're gonna move him to a tackle just because he's just that big.
Nah, keep him at tight end. We need another one. We need a bigger Tony because
is what he's gonna be.
Nah, we need a bigger one.
What you're gonna see is they're gonna put him at left tackle, but then in goal line situations, he's gonna be the only man in the backfield. They ain't even gonna have a quarterback back there.
Nah,
they're gonna have him in
I need him at tight end. I need him at tight end, mossing the entire competition. I need him to change. I need him at tight end because I want him to change the landscape of the NFL. Listen to me. I want him to change the landscape of the NFL and shake up everything to the point where secondaries are confuzzled. Corners don't want to play. Linebackers are scared. I want this man, even if he does get to 6'8", 350 and can still move like a 6'6", 250 guy. I want this man putting fear in grown men for the rest of their contracts. That's what I want. I want defensive coordinators losing their jobs because you can't defend this genetic specimen of a man. Like I want the Super Bowl MVP trophy renamed after this man because you know what? Damn it, hey, he earned it. Like Vince Lombardi, move. This is Keko Amua's trophy now. Like that's what I want.
Let me tell you something. This ain't about what you need. This is about what's about to happen. What's about to happen is they're about to create a whole new package for this man called the Diesel formation because it's just going to be him on the backfield. There's going to be no running backs. There's going to be no receivers. It is all linemen and tight ends. He's going to be the only person back there. They're going to put him in. They're not even going to put him in shotgun. He's going to be in pistol.
Hey, Wildcat, but
and then Wildcat is gone. It is called Diesel now because it's about to be a Mack truck hitting you in the face at a 4.6 speed. You're not going to understand what happened to you until he's run you over. That's all you know. He's listed at left tackle, but guess what he is today? He is everything you wanted him to be.
What I just thought of?
Everything.
I just realized it. I got it. It is going to be like Jerome Bettis and who was the Tampa Bay fullback for a long time?
Oh, Mike Allstott.
Yeah, it's gonna be somebody who runs and trucks you, like Jerome Bettis, Mike Allstott, and even Marshawn Lynch, but moving like a Shady McCoy, Michael Vick, flipping Lamar Jackson.
What you're gonna see?
It's gonna be a problem.
What you're gonna see, and I really do hope this comes true at some point. What you're gonna see is Keko Almua throw a touchdown pass to Cooper McCutcheon.
I would love to see that. Actually,
it is good. I would love to see this happen. Listen, I know it is a pipe dream. I know you, and we have diverted.
Listen, we talking specifically to you right now, my boy. Come to UNC. Get up with Bill. Get up with Cooper. And y'all force Bill Belichick to put a package in to where you are throwing Cooper McCutcheon a touchdown. And I want it to be a tight end to tight end touchdown. I don't care if my co-host says you're a D tackle. I wanted to say tight end to tight end touchdown.
I didn't even say D tackle, left tackle.
Left tackle, right tackle, all tackles, paces, and 6.
Anyway, last guy we got is Xavier Griffin Haynes, edge rusher 6'6", 235. Because we don't went on the worst tangent because we didn't even bring up the last guy on this list, and I feel so bad about that.
We can bring him up because listen, Xavier Griffin Haynes, you are a 6'6", 235 edge rusher, 4 stars. Why are all y'all so big? Like, hold up.
It's the growth hormone in the eggs.
Bro, this ain't even hold up, Sway. How y'all getting it? What? I know it's the age-old question. I've been asking this question since I was going through puberty, but what are y'all eating? That's what you What are you boys eating, bro?
I'm telling you, it's the HGH in the chicken.
First of all, we are not watching the HG channel. What are you talking about?
The HGH, human growth hormone in the chicken.
Oh, word.
That's why them chickens are so big.
I thought they said high glucose health.
High glucose health?
I don't know.
All right.
I failed. I tried.
I'm about to say you tried. We'll go back to the drum.
I failed, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't think that through. I was my brain. My mouth ran before my brain could come up.
You were still too hyped over Kekua. That's all it was.
I was, bro.
You still caught up on changing.
Oh, I'm saying that boy gonna be nice.
I don't doubt it. I really hope he's mad successful.
That boy's gonna be nice, man.
And I hope he's mad successful here. But wherever he goes, I want to hear his name shouted from.
I want to see him on Sundays. If he comes to UNC, amazing. If he doesn't, I want to see that boy on Sundays.
I want to see him on Sunday and Monday and Thursday.
Maybe not Thursday because them games be bad.
And we need a highlight.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
So let's
You're
see
right.
here. And then, unfortunate news is Amari Hampton decommits from UNC. 3-star receiver. Now he's decommitted. Yep. And after careful consideration with my family, I have decided to decommit from the University of North Carolina. Thank you to the coaching staff for the opportunity. North Carolina will remain a top school, but now my recruitment is 100% open. So he's already scheduled to go visit with Tulane and Mississippi State. He does have some other schools along with Ole Miss, Missouri, Oregon, or Oregon State, sorry, not Oregon, and Louisville are also potential options. But we do know for sure right now he has visits with Tulane and Ole Miss for sure. Um, 15th player, 15th ranked player in Mississippi, 69th receiver in the class of 2026, and 446th player nationally. But at the end of the day, it's like at least he's deciding to keep us on the list of schools. Some places where they decommit, they don't even keep that school on the list anymore. They remove them. Say, I don't want to go here. I'm going somewhere else for sure. So to see that he at least is still considering coming back, because I think Georgia had the same issue with Jared Curtis,
Yeah,
the
I
number
think
like the high ranked quarterback out of Tennessee, because he decommitted and then recommitted again. So you have to see.
part of me thinks he's doing this because he wants to see what coach is going to go all out for him, and he wants kind of that
Yeah,
recruitment treatment and be
because
like,
I
"Oh,
yeah,
show me what you want." Like he thinks, "Oh, I might have made too quick of a decision. All these other schools are trying to woo me. Let me see what they're talking about." And I'm not necessarily against it. I'm not necessarily against it. I do. I wouldn't have done it. I will say this: if I was in his position, if I felt like I had other options that were going to come or potentially come, I would have waited it out. And I get it. I wouldn't have. I think committing and then decommitting looks a little bad on you. And it's not to say that he's a bad kid. Like let me put that out there. I'm not saying he's a bad kid. He has the right to have his options. He's coming out of high school. He has the right to have and pick his choose where he wants to go for his career, where he thinks the best place for him. I just think if you were still in limbo, take your time. It's okay to be patient. You ain't got to rush it. Take your time. Make sure you do pick the best place for
right.
you.
And like the optic, and I get what you say. Like the optics look bad. It's not like that
Yeah.
you're making a bad decision, nothing like that. Because we also
Yeah.
get like you're coming out of high school. This is an important decision for you.
Like, bro,
And
you're an
if
18-year-old
you were
kid, and we're asking you to make potentially the decision that could make or
one of the
break to
big
get you
decisions,
to the
right,
NFL.
one of the biggest decisions of your life, and when it comes down to stuff like this, it's like, yeah, no, I would prefer you take more time. I also feel like this is one of those things where somebody was in his ear, like, you know what? If they were trying to get you so bad, like, what is the other guys want? Like, what are they trying to do for you?
Plus,
Like, what were
plus,
they trying to throw at you to see if you were gonna, be a part of this and be a part of that? So no, I definitely get that for sure. So I
plus, I
mean,
misspoke. He's class of 2026, so he's not graduating until next
he
year.
still got time, and I
So
think
he
that's
still
another
got
thing.
his,
Somebody,
his
I think
senior
his parent, I
season.
think it's like his family talked to him, was like, listen, I understand that you would like to go here, but you honestly you got time. Like you don't have to rush this decision right now. It's a big deal. And
Because
I applaud family members for doing that instead of ones trying to push them like, hey, you gotta go here, you gotta do this, you gotta do blah 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 blah. Just make it like, hey, listen, you don't graduate till next year. You still have all of this year and you still have this football season to make your decision. You don't have to say that you're definitely going somewhere right now. You got till December technically to make this decision, really. Because if you want to go ahead and commit now and go in early so you can get into with the spring practices, great. Or if you want to go ahead and commit, wait till you've walked, graduated, and then come in the fall, so that way
right.
you can get a whole full year in. You have time to make those decisions. You don't have to jump right in. So
And I
I would, I hate that he had to decommit to do it, but I also get the, okay, I don't want to feel like I rushed this decision either. So
and I think this. I think when it comes into it, because he's a class of 2026, like you said, you got your senior season. You got till December or spring, whenever you go at, whenever, like, because National Signing Day is always in, I want to say what, March, April, like
something like
final
that.
national. And the thing I'm looking at now is like, okay, you had UNC Mississippi State, Tulane, Ole Miss, Missouri, Oregon State knocking at your door. If you go out and ball out your senior season, put up like another great set of numbers, this, that, and the third, I'm thinking he's banking on more schools giving him offers and he having more options. Maybe a Georgia, maybe a Clemson, maybe a Florida State, maybe Ohio State, maybe a Michigan, maybe these other schools. And he's like, I can always fall back on UNC. Now, the caveat to doing this, and the caveat is because you got to know this game, the coaches are also going to be looking for your replacement. Like, they're already thinking, all right, you don't want to come here? Cool. Yeah, they're going to throw their head out there, and they're going to want you. But you also got to keep in mind, you can't keep them waiting too long because in the same breath, they're already looking for your replacement. Or you don't know what the other receiver who's already in the NCAA, if he's going to transfer to the school you're trying to go to. Because, for example, let's play devil's advocate real quick, right? Let's say back in the day, you had Cam Newton coming back in, like from Florida, his JUCO year coming into Auburn, right?
Right.
And then somehow in that same breath or in that same time frame, you had I'll just throw out a name, even though they weren't the same year. I'll just throw out a name. You had Tebow transfer to Auburn right at the same time that Cam Newton's going in. That would have been wild, even though they did end up playing together in Florida. You get what Tebow in his prime versus Cam coming into his prime at Auburn. That could throw things off. So as that young of a kid, and I know I might not be making sense, but the overall under is, yes, make your decision, take your time, make sure you make the right decision, but also understand that other people, outside influences, could affect your decisions too. Like, you may want to go to UNC again, but Bill may have found 3 or 4 receivers who have committed and given him the hard, yeah, I'm ready to go, and now he doesn't have a scholarship to give you. Now that offer has been rescinded off the table, and you thought you had time. So I'm saying definitely make your decision and take your time, but don't take too long to where you
don't dawdle on it. Just make sure you take the appropriate amount of time you need. And then then to think about it, like the offers that you do have, you have 3 major SEC schools, you have 2 bigger ACC teams, you got an American Athletic with Tulane, and you got a Pac-12. Well, one of the 2 Pac-12 teams in Oregon State. Like, that still blows my mind that Pac-12 fell apart like it did. But am I surprised? No, because they got greedy, and this is what happens. Like, you fell apart because you got greedy. You didn't have to try to push for what you push for, because had you just agreed and had better games during the season, you would have got the notoriety you wanted. Like, you wanted these television channels to pay you more money to get put on national television when nobody's trying to watch no game at 11 o'clock at night. Nobody's trying to watch those. Unless they are diehard fans of your squad that's over there on the West Coast, nobody's watching no 11 o'clock. Nobody.
Listen, back during the Reggie Bush days, man, them Pac-12, back during the LaMichael James and Kenyon.
But those guys were worth watching.
I'm just saying, like, we were watching 11 o'clock games back then. Like, we would say
here's the other thing, though. Their games weren't coming on at 11 o'clock at night. Their games were coming on at 3. You were watching them during the day.
Because Reggie Bush and them boys had a number of night games. We'll never forget the game they had against Notre Dame.
And even that night game started at 8.
I'm just saying.
And ran till 11. But it started at prime time slots because these were prime time games.
So what you want to say?
Now you got games that
should be time zones are the reason. So time zones are the reason. Are we blaming the time zones?
No.
That's what it sounds like to me. You're like, ain't nobody trying to watch at 11 o'clock. It ain't their fault. They on the West Coast.
is trying to watch an 11 o'clock game that's boring.
Listen, we start at 9 o'clock. People are watching us.
But we're not boring.
All right, yeah, I get you that.
Because are you watching Wednesday games? Yeah. There's a college football games that comes on Wednesdays. Are you watching them?
Honestly, that is a small I watch Ball State. I watch Ball State on Wednesdays.
Do you?
Yes.
How many Ball State games did you catch last year?
Boy, I never said I watch a lot. I never said, listen, I had to build. Listen, bro, I had to build up my friend. I had to build up my dynasty and recruitment. I had to see what was going on.
I'm about to say, so like you watching the simulation from your PlayStation is different than watching them actually play.
No, I'm actually watching the game. And I'm like, okay, that's not what we got to do here. Let me get on the game and see what I can do.
So you took that one quarter you watched and be like, you know what? I can do this better.
Listen. I took that one quarter. I will say this. I didn't put it on Heisman. Heck nah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I did the same thing with ODU too.
Hey, you watched one game. You said, "What y'all doing?"
I watched a half. I
can do better than this.
I can play better with him than this coach is doing. Let's do this
real quick, bro. What you doing, bro? You ain't using my red right. You got the wrong offense. You got the wrong defense. You're running a 3-3-5. That's the problem.
First of all, this D in here is a monster. He's got 15 sacks in my season. I don't know why he ain't getting none now.
Hey, you running a 3-3-5. I told you, stop that. If you go
run, switch to a 4-2.
Hey, 4-2-5, 3-4 multiple. What are we doing here?
This ain't it.
This is not it, my guy. Hey, you never use a nickel package. What is wrong with you?
At all. Moving on.
Oh man.
Shout out to you, baseball. Moving on to
they're going on to the Super Regionals that play this Friday, bro. They handled big business in the regionals, going 3-0 and making sure they beat Oklahoma and everybody else around there. And they get to host the Super Regionals versus the Big 12 champs and also 4-time national champs in Arizona. It is a best-of-3 series. It will still be in Chapel Hill at Bushheimer Stadium in Chapel Hill, so y'all can show up and show out in the game. Game 1 is this Friday at noon. Game 2 will be Saturday at noon. And if they got to go to Game 3 because they split 1-1, that'll also be Sunday. They have not determined the time for that. So hopefully we can do our thing.
So Arizona holds a 3-2 series lead over UNC in 5 meetings. 3 meetings in 1985, 2 out of 3. 1989, UNC won, and 1990, Arizona won.
And the winner of this will take on Auburn versus Coastal Carolina in their super regional matchup. And here's the other thing. It's kind of crazy.
Shout out to Coastal Carolina.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. Actually, there's 3 things. 1, UNC is the 3rd highest remaining seed right now, as number 1 overall seed and number 2 overall seed actually lost in the regionals.
Ooh.
They lost. So it's the 3, the 4, and the 5 are the highest seeds. 2, there is a possibility the College World Series championship round can be a Tobacco Road final. Duke is on the other side of that bracket.
That's hilarious.
And the way it's set up, when I was looking at the bracket, they in the super regional over there.
I said what I said.
Hey, listen, I low key.
My boss had, but I said what I said.
Listen, my low key spite was like, nah, I want y'all to get all the way there, and I want us to rip the championship from your heart. Like I want.
No, I want you to watch from the outside. Like, man, I could have been there.
Nah, I want you to get there just so we can be the ones to take it from you. Kind of like how it was with Coach K's final year. during basketball, I was like, nah, nobody can give Coach K his final loss when they got to the tournament. That is a UNC and UNC only privilege.
That was a good year.
That
And
was a great year.
quick side note, shout out to the Texas Tech women's softball team for knocking out Oklahoma,
Oh yeah, I did see that.
three-time defending champions.
Yeah, 3 times to finish. They were going for a 4-peat. They were going
Yeah,
for a 4-peat.
so
I
big
saw
ups
that.
to Texas Tech women's softball get to the women's championship series. Hope y'all win it. I don't even know who they're going against. I just hope they do.
Hey, listen, they was balling, bro. They did their thing.
Tar Heel
But
birthdays.
oh, we saving the other thing for after the Tar Heel.
Whoa, it's coming.
Oh, no. All right. So Tar Heel birthday. So this week, shout out to DB Blaine McClure. I hope you said happy birthday to you, my boy. Your birthday is this Friday. So, oh, and you get it on Friday? Oh, yeah, boy, you about to have a good old time. Happy birthday to you.
Those days.
Man, listen. I ain't gonna lie to
Right.
you. I was always jealous of the kids, like your birthday and the kids' birthday too was like in the school, start of the summer, especially summer birthdays.
Man.
Bro, I was jealous of the kids born in the summer because I'm like, unless your birthday falls in the middle of the week, there's no excuse for people to miss your birthday. Like you can always have especially if it fell on the weekend, bro.
I remember the first time I actually had to go to school on my birthday. When I tell you I was confused,
man, listen,
I was confuzzled because like every year it either came around right as like Memorial Day hit,
yeah,
or like I said, it was on a weekend or school was over. So I just never had to. And the one year I did, I'm like,
bro, at least your
right.
birthday is then, bro. I always hated my birthday during school because my birthday, the only thing that made my birthday better during
you're
school,
just like right after school start, basically.
bro. I'm saying nobody wants to be on my birthday. Like my birthday in September,
we getting progress reports.
my birthday is at the end of September, bro. Like nobody is sitting there excited to go to a birthday party in September, especially if they done got in trouble within the first month of school. You don't want to come to my birthday party.
I said you get progress reports. You don't want that. Nobody wants that.
Bro,
we will be going.
Like only time I really enjoyed my birthday during school was if my birthday fell like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday. I would love it on Sunday if it was. I would love it on Sunday because usually there'd be a NASCAR race on my Sunday, and I especially remember from like 2001, like 2003, they always used to have like the Kansas race on my birthday, and Jeff Gordon dominated that race like the first few years they went to Kansas. So I was always like, ooh, my boy Jeff gonna dominate a race. I'm gonna get a birthday win. I'm good to go. But yeah, I always hated my birthday because nobody wanted to give me a present. If my birthday didn't fall on the weekend, I just had to use my sports as like my reason to be happy. But I did. That did give me a birthday gift on my 18th birthday. Beat our crosstown rival, like our rival in their home in football. And like my senior year, that was all I wanted for my birthday was to beat them at their home. And I got it.
True that. So,
my man. Lord.
Getting out of that, there is no Tar Heel takeaway this week. You know why? Because we got to talk about somebody that's soft as wet Charmin, aka
I got a Tar Heel takeaway after this, but
Ohio.
Hey, Ohio State, State, come to the front of the room because we got to talk, bro. We got to talk. Yo, so I need y'all to understand what has happened. What has happened?
It's Steve Hill. Anybody seen Steve today?
Steve, where you at? I know you in here. I know you lurking.
He in here somewhere.
He here.
And if he ain't, he gonna see.
I need you at the front of the room. I need you at the front of the room. Come on, I know you there. If he ain't there, this is for you too, Steve.
For you, Steve. Specifically for you, Steve.
Specifically for you. I want you to address this. I want you to address this. Tag us when you go live on the Ohio State podcast because we will show up and we want answers. But
so you want me to read it? You got it.
Let's see. Man, I'm gonna be honest. You better at reading. I can add in the ad libs. I've always admitted you were the better storyteller of the two of us.
All right. So what had happened was Ohio legislators decided they was gonna be real because I can't exactly say it, but they're gonna be real soft and real tender about some mess. Because they have proposed a law that would fine network and conferences $10 million for having Ohio State play top 10 non-rivalry games at noon. Along with that, the bill also outlines between games between the top 210 teams featuring a state university in Ohio cannot begin before 3:30 unless the schools have met at least 50 times and have traditionally played at the same start time in 95% of those games.
What?
If violated, the attorney general would be authorized to levy the $10 million fine against either the broadcaster or the conference responsible for scheduling it. This proposal follows another controversial bill by Ohio State Representative Josh Williams, which seeks to make flag planting by college athletes a felony, punishable by 6 to 12 months in jail. That bill was introduced after tensions flared during the 2024 Ohio State-Michigan game when Michigan players attempted to plant their flag at midfield in Ohio Stadium. Let me tell you this.
First
This
of
is
all,
the absolute soft response to anything I've ever seen. If you want to call yourself the Ohio State, then you need to get the out of here with this noise.
Bro, this is weak. I thought
this is weak.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I thought when Texas started giving opposing players flags, unsportsmanlike for doing the hook them down, I thought that was the weakest move. This absolutely is atrocious because Ohio State. You mean to tell me the same school that has planted their flag in Michigan, planted a flag at Michigan State, planted a flag at Oklahoma. You've done this to multiple opponents. This ain't just a one-time deal. The one time Michigan does it to you because you can't beat them and that's after Jim Harbaugh. Like, come on now. What are you talking about? You want to fine $10 million. But not only that, because I have an issue with the flag planting and you trying to make that a felony. Like, that's just not a part of tradition. I'm sorry. Be a man, take the L. Be an organization, take the L. But then you want to sit there and say, we're going to fine you $10 million for making us play at 3:30. Oh, excuse the heck out of me. Excuse the heck out of me. I thought we were playing games. I thought football could be played at any time of the day. Why can't you play at 12? Huh? Why can't you play a big-time opponent at 12? Especially one that might be coming over from the West Coast. You have the advantage. You want to sit there and make an excuse talking about we'll fine you if you make us play before 3:30 if we have to play a top 10 team. You're weak. You're soft. You are marshmallow. Roasted. You're just mad because you can't beat anybody at a top 10 team before 3 o'clock. Like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? I'm like, bro, there is no way on God's green earth. Imagine, Joel, just imagine if Dabo Swinney had said this for Clemson. Imagine if Nick Saban had said this for Alabama. Imagine if Urban Meyer had said this when he was at Florida or even when he was at Ohio State. Imagine if Jim Harbaugh said this. Imagine if Pete Carroll had said this. Imagine if Jim Tressel had. What are we talking about here?
If you would have heard anyone else outside of the state of Ohio make this law, if you would have heard Louisiana say this, if you'd have heard Georgia say this, the state of Florida, the state of California, if Michigan would have said this, South Carolina, if anywhere else in the United States would have said this and would have tried to make this a law, when I tell you the doors would have been blown off the hinges.
Imagine if Texas had tried to do this, like the state of Texas.
God forbid Texas do this, because they've already catch enough hell from the hook 'em down mess. People
Bro,
already get on them for about the hook 'em down mess. But now, if they would have said all this,
like
making certain games illegal or finding people, finding certain places for
you
certain
would,
games at certain
and
times,
here's the other part. You want to sit there and say, "Oh, we're gonna find the conference for responsible for scheduling." What if it was your own conference that proposed it? What if it was the Big Ten that proposed, "Hey, Ohio State, you're gonna go play. You're gonna go play Georgia at noon because you're the primetime game for this Saturday. There is nobody else." Or, God forbid, it's like, "Hey, yo, this is the game we want y'all to play. It is just y'all, nobody else." You're going to sit there and say you're going to fine the Big Ten $10 million because they make Ohio State play at
or
12?
whoever else was responsible for scheduling it, you're gonna find them 10 mil for what? For what?
What, you trying to say it's an unfair advantage that Ohio State has to play at noon? You're like, we're the Ohio State University. We shouldn't have to play at noon. If you're the Ohio State University, then you should be able to beat anybody at any time.
Then it shouldn't matter when you play.
Football is
If you
football. We all been playing football since we was young kids at 12 in the afternoon.
because think about it. Because imagine fining Marshall $10 million because they played them last year at 12 p.m. They beat them 49-14.
And I'm just looking at, because you're like, and here's the thing though, they're only doing this.
Fining
No,
Nebraska.
here's the thing. No, read the bill again. They're only doing this if they have to play a top 10 team.
Hmm?
A top 10 team at noon. They're okay if they play a cupcake at noon.
That's
They don't want to play a top 10 team at noon.
That's still so wild.
Because they know they will lose.
Teams featuring a state university in Ohio cannot begin before 3:30. What do you mean? Unless the schools have met 50 times and it's a part of the rivalry.
50 times? You play once a year. So you mean to tell me the only way
we have a history with you over the last 50 years, at least 75 years, to say we've played y'all 50 times over the last decade, over the last century, just to be like, okay, we won't find y'all for this. What do you mean? And you think you gonna find the network for it?
Oh, the network. Listen, the network gonna slap you for that. The network gonna be like, you gonna try.
And part of me is like, I believe this is all because y'all lost to Michigan.
Because
that game was a 12 o'clock game.
It is. That's the only reason. And here's what makes it worse. Y'all still went on to win the championship. Y'all still got in and won the championship.
Like, y'all aren't that important.
What are we doing?
I don't need y'all to get off your soapboxes, whatever it is y'all standing on, because y'all aren't that important.
Imagine if after Georgia won their 2 championships, Georgia came out and said, "Hey, yo," they said, "Hey, yo, we can't play Georgia Tech or Florida or Alabama before 12 o'clock." Imagine when Clemson won, they had said
the first thing they would have asked us is who they scared of. Or we already know now because of this, Georgia clearly isn't that good of a team and can't play nobody for real. That's exactly what they would have said. Exactly what they would have said.
Like, they would have asked Georgia that, bro, you can, like, when you are the top dog, you play anybody at any time. It doesn't matter who it is. And if it's a top 10 team, I don't care what time you want to play. Line it up, run it. Football, college football, should never have state legislation trying to come in and tell you when they can and cannot schedule a game. Y'all are really trying to make a tradition, which is flag planting, because y'all were just sorry losers. You're just sore losers who couldn't take the L that you lost to your rival. And they tried to plant the flag in the middle of your field. I know it sucks. I get in the heat of the moment. But guess what, bro? We all men at the end of the day. If you lost, you lost. And the winners get to make the rules. If the winners are going to plant the flag in the middle of your field, you just got to eat it. You want to, guess what? Next year when you beat them, you can plant it on their field. Like, what are we
It's horrible.
talking about? What did you see?
So, AI overview going from Google. An Ohio bill proposes to fine Ohio State and other state universities 10 million for starting football games before 3:30 p.m. The bill introduced by Representative Tex Fisher aims to prevent games, particularly those involving Ohio State, from being scheduled on the big noon kickoff on Fox. The bill also includes a provision to allow state universities to work out deals with streaming services to allow students to watch events for free. Let's see here. In recent years, Ohio State football fans have become increasingly frustrated with the high volume of noon kickoffs their beloved Buckeyes have been forced to play. One Ohio legislator, this is from USA Today, one Ohio legislator is hoping to remedy that. Has authored a bill that would prohibit Ohio State from playing marquee games before 3:30. A notable exception would be for the Buckeyes' annual rivalry game against Michigan, which traditionally kicks off at noon.
Here's my thing.
Since Fox, one of the
Why
Big Ten
y'all?
television partners, introduced its Big Noon Saturday window ahead of the 2019 season, Ohio State has become a fixture of the earliest broadcast time of the day. The Buckeyes have played 35 noon games since the start of 2019, including 7 last year on their way to their first national championship in a decade. Each of the Ohio State's final 6 regular season games began at noon, 3 of which came at home. The bill, as written, would prevent any game from being played in the state of Ohio if it meets both of the following criteria. One of the competing teams is a football team from a state university, and both teams are ranked in the top 10 of Associated Press poll of the FBS. Of note, only one of the Buckeyes' 2024 games would have fallen under that criteria, the November 23rd game meeting with Indiana, a game in which the Buckeyes and Hoosiers are ranked number 2 and number 5 in the AT Top 25, respectively. Ohio State played only one other top 10 team in the noon slot against number 3 Penn State, though that was on the road. If the bill becomes law, the ramifications for skirting it would be steep. The legislation states if a game starts before 3:30 p.m., the Ohio Attorney General will impose a fine of $10 million against either the host team's conference, the Big Ten, or the television network, whichever one scheduled the earlier kickoff. While noon kickoffs offer fans, particularly those watching from home, time to take in their other college football games from across the country later in the day, they're generally an annoyance for fans attending the game in person, forcing them to wake up earlier in the morning and giving them less time to tailgate. When Fox debuted Big News Saturday, it was a way for the network to air a marquee matchup during what's typically a bearer early slate rather than having to compete against the SEC's long-standing 3:30 p.m. game on CBS or ESPN's primetime game. CBS now primarily airs a Big Ten game during the 3:30 p.m. slot as part of a new media rights deal with the conference. Fox adds some pageantry to his noon kickoff by bringing the network's pregame show to the big noon kickoff to the site of the game, much in the same way ESPN does College Game Day. Unfortunately for Ohio State, the Big Ten's most consistently successful program since Big Noon Saturday launched 6 years ago, that interest in putting the Buckeyes in marquee time slots for Fox often means receiving a disproportionate share of early start times. This bill hasn't yet appeared in Ohio State legislature database, but text of it was published Thursday by journalist DJ Burns of the Rooster. So my thing is, you're not only finding the conferences and the networks, you're finding the schools. Like you're getting
It's
onto the schools about this. Like
you're
it's really
mad because here's the thing, and you and I both know this. You're mad. One, Ohio State fans who are mad that you got to get up early and you can't tailgate as much. That's crazy. Yeah, this is more of a ploy of, hey, we're losing money off beer sales because they're not tailgating as long.
because they're not drunk enough yet, but they're not
They're not
already
drunk
drunk
enough.
by the time they get here. Here's my
They're not
problem.
drunk enough.
Here's my problem. And we're saying, I don't know, we done gone way over at this point. Here's my problem with this. My problem with this is one, you're upset that now instead of you having to get up or leave your house at 12 o'clock because people are already tailgating, you're now having to leave your house at 9 or 8 or heck, even sometimes 6, depending on whoever's out there. My thing is, one, I don't know really what the problem is because I've been to games where people have been out there tailgating for like the last 4 or 5 hours. There's people who
regardless of what time it started.
Regardless of what time the game starts. There are people who have been camping out at the tailgate spots overnight, so that way they'll be ready they can go ahead and start tailgating come the morning.
That's what they do in Cali all the time. I have a homegirl. She from San Diego when the Chargers were still in San Diego, and they say in Cali for football culture, you get up whether it's Saturday or Sunday because she was a Chargers fan. You get up, tailgate, go to the game by noon, 1 o'clock, and you done. You got the rest of your day to chill.
Let me tell you,
that's a part of the culture.
Even at State, even at South Carolina State, the night before a game, when I tell you that tailgating area is almost full the night before, because people are ready to start tailgating come the morning. They're setting up booze, they're setting up everything. By the time the morning starts, you being upset that you can't tailgate for that long, honestly, is a terrible excuse to me, because there are people already out there tailgating by the time the sun come up.
Horrible excuse, especially for
example.
The diehard Ohio State fans are not making that excuse.
You're not making
this. This has to be proposed by newer Ohio State fans who have just gotten here and don't like the fact that their football game comes on at 12, because diehard Ohio State fans don't care.
Either newer or people who take advantage of the tailgates and realize, I want to take advantage of the tailgate, but I also want to be there when kickoff starts. Because if you wanted to be there when kickoff starts, guess what? You would have been there earlier anyway. Because you're trying to beat the Lions. So I don't know. It's wild to me.
But let's wrap this up real quick. Tar Heel takeaway of the week. What you went last week, right?
Yeah.
It's my turn. I'll start. Give me my solo. All right, boy. Listen here. I need y'all good. I need y'all to listen to me.
Now he took the hat off. Now he changed the hat.
Listen. Y'all doubted my boys. Y'all doubted them. I saw so many of you sitting there telling me all season that Indiana, no way on God's green earth with all 75% of the ocean covering it, would make it to the NBA Finals. And we are here. And everybody's doubting us now. And that's okay. Y'all can keep doubting us like all you want to. But I have been a Pacers fan to the depths and in my soul. And I have my socks. I got my Hallie jersey, my Miles Turner's jersey, my old two Paul George jerseys. I got a popcorn bucket in the corner as well as a cup too. I am happy. I am excited. I look forward to these finals because honestly, it's going to be a great finals. But I need y'all to understand, for all of you who doubted us, for all of us who said last year was a fluke, for all of you who said, you know what, Indy's not that great. Who's going to want to watch Indy basketball? I do. Indy basketball will never get to the finals. We did. Indy can't beat a healthy Knicks. We did that. Indy can't beat the Cavs. Did that. Indy can't beat Milwaukee. Did that. Got the second best record since the start of the calendar year. The only team better than us is the Oklahoma City Thunder. But y'all want to talk crap. Because why? Because we're not LA. We're not Boston. We're not Miami. We're not OKC. We don't have Aura. We don't have Luka. We're not that. Shut up. Real basketball's here. Deal with it. Just because it ain't in a big market like you want. Y'all wanted parity, you got it, because y'all hated the Cavs and the Warriors for 4 years straight. But now that it's two small markets, now all of a sudden it's bad basketball. Shut up and deal with the great finals you're about to get, baby. Let's go, Indy. We here.
I don't know how I'm going to follow that.
Hey, man. I just had to, but you got it.
Do I, though? Do I got it?
You do.
I don't think I got it. Tar Heel takeaway of the week. That's a brick wall. Realize that. Manufacturing. Old ass house. It is what it is. Nah, that's not it. But no.
Why does it keep switching
But
back
now,
to you?
let me tell y'all something. Don't put yourselves in contracts that y'all can't get out of. And I'm talking about the businesses that hire people for contracts they can't get out of too. Remember, at the end of the day, we all can get Kirk Cousins. We all can't be Kirk Cousins though. We all don't have those kinds of agents. We don't have that type of time. We don't have that kind of bargaining power. We don't. But what we do have is a collective of people who are broke, tired, and wanting better for ourselves. When you realize that America don't want you to have something in your life, get it together, collective on it. Get it as a collective. You don't know what you're doing. I'm out here rambling. I don't even know what my takeaway was for this week. My takeaway earlier was about Ohio State being stupid and the state of Ohio being stupid. Because how dare you? How dare you decide, oh, I don't like the fact that my team plays at 12 o'clock. Now I got to leave church 5 minutes early. Now I got to wake up in the morning on a Saturday. I worked all week. Why I got to do this now? I don't care. Because you know why? You know why I don't care? Because nothing is that important that you need to make a law finding broadcasters, finding conferences. It's already hard enough for them to pay the athletes. You think they want to pay you? Do you think that every time you wake up in the morning, it's like, you know what? I want to find a better way to inhibit progress today. Well, how about you stop? How about you inhibit your own progress and mind your own business? How about that? How about you let Fox misrepresent your school schedules because it's not their fault that your team keep winning in the afternoons. Guess what? You the Ohio State. Of course, you're going to look good. They want you to be on TV. They want you to be out here. So at the end of the day, start sucking for a little bit. Then you might get the 3:30 time slot. How about that?
Hey, side note.
Easy fix. Stop winning games and you might get the 3:30 that you want. People
Great
come watching
takeaway.
you at 12.
Hey, Beat
Just because the
said.
stadium empty.
So chat takeaway. Beat said my take is Bills about to turn the Tar Heels into the baby Patriots. That's a take. That's a take.
Not a, I said I was thinking that when he first got hired. I was like, oh, it's about to be a college version of the Patriots.
Baby Gronk incoming. And he said every time I turn around,
somebody's slapping down the Kirk Cousins type contract Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Hey, it is.
So what's that? Money talks. You activated my trap card. Kirk Cousins agent.
But guys, that we have ran a heck of a lot longer than usual. That has been this week's episode of the North Carolina Tar Heel Live podcast. Again, I am one of your hosts, the captain of the Hooligan Express, Tornado McCray, Myron McCray. Y'all know what it is. The skinny brother with 2 tats, Ricky Pippen Jr. himself. And say goodbye to the people, Rice.
Y'all stay safe out here. It's your mama's favorite farmer, your sister's favorite farmer. Head of the rice fields.
Shout out. Thank you, Tar Heel Paul. We'll see you next week. Remember, join us live Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Right here.
Eastern
Follow him on Instagram at RiceBox26. Follow me on IG at Tornado McCray. That's also our YouTubes, our personal YouTubes if y'all want more content like that. And we are available YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Facebook, all that good jazz. But peace. Much love to y'all. We out of here.
Hit the button.
I did.
Hit the button.